So another month of PS Plus, those free games that we pay for every month, am I right? In this video I'm going to be talking about those games. I'm going to give you a brief overview of them. I'm also going to be talking about the trophies, how hard I think it is. We're going to look at the trophy guides that are available at the moment, and you can decide if you think it's going to be worth going for those shiny platinum trophies. Okay, so we are getting 3 games, as we always do this month. We're getting FIFA 22, we're getting Tribes of Midgard, and Curse of the Dead Gods. And I thought I would talk with the biggest game that we're getting free, which of course is FIFA 2022. I think this is a pretty good month overall. I think some people maybe more serious hardcore gamers may not be happy with the big game being FIFA, but for casual gamers or people who love football, soccer, I think FIFA 22 is a pretty big deal that it's actually on PS Plus. Yes, the new one's coming out in September, but that means you've got 6 months of really enjoying the most active football game. And the trophy list is, by looks of it, it's one of the easier trophy lists for FIFA that have come out of recently. It's still an ultra rare platinum trophy at like 2 to 3%. It's a really cool platinum trophy. It's a really rare one. It's a really impressive platinum trophy to have straight off the bat. There's a few steps to getting the platinum in this one. It's online based. You know, if you don't like online multiplayer trophies, this probably isn't for you. A lot of it can be boosted with friends, and a lot of it does involve playing Ultimate Team, which is like a big card-based football game where you kind of make up your own teams based on the cards you get. You know the bit that's like incredibly heavily monetized. Yeah, that part. So it's a 3 out of 10, 65-hour platinum. That is really reasonable for a FIFA game, I have to say. Now, these guys can be a bit confusing because it's a 3 out of 10 if you know how to play these games. It's kind of like saying a Call of Duty is a 3 out of 10, but you still need to know how to use an FPS game, how to play those games. And FIFA definitely is more of a specific skill because you don't know how to play this game unless you've played a FIFA. If you've played any first-person shooter game, yeah, you can pick up a Call of Duty, but this game is very specific and there's not many sort of games out there. So if you haven't played FIFA, I would probably say add a couple on that. If you've never played a FIFA game before, it's probably a 5 out of 10. If you played FIFA through the years, then yes, 3 out of 10 is probably more appropriate for you. So there's a couple stages to this platinum. Firstly, you've got to do the pro clubs. So there's some trophies which you can earn through, you know, just doing quick matches, through doing the skill challenges, and then there's a pro clubs, which is where you control one player in a team of up to 11 other players versus another full team. This can be done, I think it has to be done with at least 2 other people. You can't do it by yourself. And the other players on the pitch are either controlled by AI or controlled by everybody, or one set player can control the rest of the players. You've got to do a few things on it. It doesn't seem too difficult. There's then a career mode. You've got to do a manager career mode, and then you've got to do a player career mode. The player career mode does sound like it's a little bit longer, probably looking at like 10 to 15 hours. You then got Volta Football, which is like a new sort of street style football. Again, it involves leveling up your character again. I think this is online and offline, so again, you have got to play a lot of football. You know, 65 hours, that is containing quite an excessive amount of actually playing the actual base game. Yes, because there's so many little elements to this game, like building your teams up on Ultimate Team, doing career mode, working out transfers and things like that. You spend a fair amount of time not actually playing football, but it's clear that you are going to spend, obviously, a considerable amount of time in the actual football arena, in those stadiums. And then finally, the final stage is Ultimate Team. There's a lot of stuff to do here. It doesn't seem like it's too difficult. It just seems a little bit grindy. You just got to play. You got to play the game consistently. I imagine if you're playing this game maybe half an hour a day, an hour a day, it wouldn't seem like too much because you can go and do daily challenges, work towards the weekend challenges and things like that. And I think there's only a few things you got to keep track of. It's one of them mainly is the 200 club appearances with a player on Ultimate Team. Because Ultimate Team, you get new players all the time, and you always want to recycle and put better players into your team. It's probably worth noting. Pick a player who's rated over 82, and just say, I'm gonna build my team around him. Maybe pick a midfielder or a goalkeeper and build a team around him, because the goalkeepers don't really need to change. If you've got an 82 rated goalkeeper, that's good enough for most of the online, so that's probably the way to go for that one. And yeah, it doesn't seem too hard. I'm pretty happy about getting this, to be honest. I'm probably going to jump into it. I think this is one of the only ones I'm definitely going to play because I love FIFA. I'd be interested to jump back in. Obviously I'm not a big fan of the loot boxes and the way EA handle Ultimate Team, but with it being free and I have no intention of spending any of my money on it, I'm probably going to go into it, mainly because there's an ultra rare platinum and I do enjoy football, hence why I'm wearing a Newcastle United hoodie, which you probably can't see right now. Okay, so next we've got Tribes of Midgard, which is a kind of a weird premise. It's like it's a cooperative, over-the-top tower defense game, survival game, essentially, and you can have up to 10 players in a map at any one time working together to fight the enemies and defend the village and things like that. And it's really an interesting premise. I have watched a few reviews of this as of late, and I think the online has been really dead and it hasn't sold very well on the PlayStation, and that's one of the reasons why it's come to PS Plus. The artwork is really cool, it looks really fun, and it looks challenging, and of the reviews I've read, there's a problem with online. It's way more fun by yourself. Offline, it's not very rewarding because you have to play a lot of hours in this game. It is a 3 out of 10. That might be the case. I've read about 100 hours is actually where you need to be playing to get the Platinum trophy, not 50 hours. And there's a problem with this level scaling with the co-op. So like every time a player comes in, your damage output does not match the amount of health and the amount of damage that the enemies put out, and that's something I really despise. I think if you're going to make a game 10-player co-op, you have to balance it right. And it's a case of you start a world with 10 people in, 4 people drop out. The level scaling does not drop, so you're still facing enemies that are playing as if there was 10 enemies on the screen, 10 of you players on the screen, which means it can be a bit unfair. You kind of basically need to build. You need to get a group of people, probably between 3 and 5 people, who are saying they're going to commit to it to go for the Platinum. There is one trophy which has to be done in co-op, which is for, I think it's for reviving somebody so many times. It's a little bit of a luck. For reviving one player, and that's it. Everything else can be done in single player. But you do need online connection. You do clearly need online connection for this one. The artwork's really cool. It does look like it would be fun in the short term. I don't know if this one's worth it. It just depends if you like these over-the-top tower defense games, which are a little bit different, but there's a lot of playing in certain levels, and there's a survival mode, so you have to kind of master the game somewhat to get that far. After what I've said, a 3 out of 10 difficulty for this game does seem somewhat low, but again, I haven't played it, so I'm not too sure. Okay, next we have Curse of the Dead Gods, which is a roguelike over-the-top RPG. It looks a little bit like Hades. It does look pretty cool, and unfortunately in terms of trophy details, you can see the Platinum is an ultra rare at 2.44%. There's no guides available at this time, probably because it's such a small game with only 3,700 people actually playing it. It does look interesting, it does look somewhat hard, and judging by the ultra rareness of the Platinum, it probably is somewhat challenging. Now I did a little bit of research, and the only thing I could find, which is not a really good evidence, but I'm going to include it anyway, is some people on a forum on PSN on PlayStation Trophies stating how they would rate the difficulty. Only 2 people voted, so we got to take it with a pinch of salt. But of those 2 people who played it, one person gave it 7, one person gave it an 8 out of 10, and they both put 51 to 75 hours to earn the Platinum. Can we use that as an evidence for the Platinum? Well, I don't know, personally. This is the only thing I could find, so it might be true, it might not be, but that again, if it's a 7 out of 10, it's the hardest Platinum that's been released in May of 2022 on PS Plus. So if you want a challenge, this might be the one for you. Again, it's an ultra rare Platinum. By the looks of it, each of these games are all going to be really, really grindy. So if you want to save money and you have PS Plus, you're looking at like 250 hours of gameplay with these 3 games. So in terms of money saving, it's really good. The games look okay. I think Curse of the Dead Gods looks like the best game to play for more of a hardcore gamer. I think FIFA is better for the casuals or people who love football. Tribes of Midgard's kind of better for the people who just really love multiplayer with their friends, a bit of PvE, not PvP like FIFA. So that's kind of my overview. I think it's a pretty strong month. I'm not going to knock it too much. I think there's a bit of variety here, a bit of variation, and I think FIFA's quite a big deal, so I'm pretty happy. And that was my thoughts on PS Plus May 2022. Let me know in the comments down below what are your thoughts. I'd be interested to hear. And let me know if you're going to be playing any of these games. I think I'm going to play FIFA. I'm not sure about the other 2. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.